Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a long time, but today we're going to be doing this smoky golden cut crease look, which I'm super excited because this is my first cut crease and I'm excited to show you guys this look. So first we're going to be using the Jackiana palette. You know, I can't get enough of that. And the first color we're going to use for transition is Edges. I'm not really up on top of my makeup terminology, but I want to say this is the transition shade that I'm going to be using. This shade I think is good because I kind of wanted to give it a little warmth from, I guess, the darker smoky color that I'm going to be using, the darker color. So that's what I'm doing right now. It's just kind of blending out that transition shade. And as you guys can see, I'm really like blending because I just want to make sure there aren't any harsh lines and that everything is kind of like seamless when I start to apply all the other shades. So yeah, I'm taking my time on this. Next, I'm using this Nika K New York palette that I've had like for years. I just never like really used it because I didn't really do makeup like that. But I am using this dark shade. I don't want to say it's black because it's a little bit more ashier than black, but it's like more of a charcoal like type of color. But yes, I'm just putting that in my crease. Like I said, I don't know terminology and stuff like that. I'm gonna learn it, but I just know how I'm applying it and how I feel comfortable applying it and what brush that I feel comfortable using. So I'm just applying this shadow, and then in a second I'm going to go in and really blend that out with that transition shade. And I know some people are wondering, just like I was wondering before I actually thought about it, why do people put on their eyeshadow before they put on their foundation? Because we watched mom do that as we grew up. We put on our foundation first and then eyeshadow. But it makes more sense when you're using darker colors because of fallout. If you have foundation on and that fallout gets on your masterpiece, then it can kind of ruin it. So you just have to be really careful. Just with this, I prefer to do it first and then clean everything up before I put on my foundation. Next, I'm going to be using the LA Girl Pro Concealer in Warm Honey to cut my crease. Now, this took me a while to kind of, I wouldn't say perfect because I'm still having trouble cutting my crease, but it's a wonderful experience. I like doing it. Like, it's super fun. But once you get it, you know, it's really rewarding to see the final look, which I'm still practicing, but I think this look came out really good for my first time. Well, my first full face. But yes, I'm just using the LA Girl Pro Concealer to cut my crease. If you have any suggestions on what I should use to cut creases, definitely let me know if there's a better product out there, because I'll go get it and I'll use it. But yes, I'm just cutting my crease and just going really slow. I sped this part up because it can get really long, but I'm going super slow like in real life. And it's okay if you mess up, you know, you can kind of go in and clean it up a little bit and then try to even that line out and make it as precise as you want it. Or if you don't want a harsh line like that, then you can kind of blend it out at the edge of the line of the cut crease, or where you're cutting at. It doesn't necessarily have to be a sharp line like that, but that was just the look I was going for. So in the end, I cleaned up, and then I kept, you know, going, kept trying, kept doing it, and it turned out really good. So next, what I'm going to be using is Soleil or Soleil. I don't know how to say it, sorry. But I'm going to be using that on top of the concealer for my cut crease. And it kind of blends in with the color. It's almost the same color, but it gives it a shimmer and kind of a soft glitter to it. and that it was perfect for what I was going for. So I'm just gonna kind of pop that on top of the concealer, and it gives it a slight shimmer to it. Next, I'm going to go in with Zam to kind of blend it out with a little bit more of gold glitter. So it's just going to be right in the center of the eyelid. I don't know if this was the right thing to do. I was just kind of winging it with the colors, but it turned out really, really nice in the end. But yeah, I wanted to go for more of a gold look. So Zam was perfect to kind of fade it out a little bit into the smokiness of the look. Now I'm just blending everything out to kind of, make everything seamless and make sure there aren't any harsh lines. I didn't want the cut crease to be a full cut crease, so I kind of wanted to fade it away in the outer corners of my eye. So that's what I'm doing, just blending it out. I wanted to make sure that glitter was there and it was shining and popping, so I made sure I applied a little bit more of Zam in the middle. Next, I'm going to go in with my MAC, my favorite right now, the NC47 in the Studio Fix Fluid. I'm absolutely in love with this foundation. I need to go back to Fenty to get me some more foundation in a darker shade because I got darker. But yes, I'm in love with MAC right now for whatever reason. I also want to try another brand, which I will eventually, that I've really been having my eye on. But that's soon to come. So yeah, I'm just applying my foundation like I normally do. And I will be using the LA Pro Girl Concealer in the color Warm Honey again. I also use that to define my brows underneath, and then I use Fawn on top. Sometimes I'll use Fawn for my concealer under my eyes and the bridge of my nose and where my, I don't know what you call that part by your lips, in between your nose and your lips. But yes, I use Fawn sometimes when I don't really want a bright highlight, but this color is Warm Honey. It's in between those two, Warm Honey and Fawn. I am going to contour with Fenty Matchstick in the color Truffle. And I don't really need to do my nose area, but I just like to do it because it just looks more crisp. But I've been noticing a trend lately. Like the highlight on the bridge of the nose is like super defined, and nobody likes to blend out the contour around their nose and their highlight on the bridge of their nose. I don't really know if I'm on that train or not. I'm not really liking that. I've seen a lot of that, and I'm like, can they just blend just a little bit more? I know I'm not the best makeup, person, but you can't see that line in between like in the middle of your nose. Like, let's blend a little bit, please. Unless if that's your preference, whatever. But I just would prefer it to be blended out a little bit more. And people may say something about the way I apply my makeup, but hey, it's my makeup and it's your makeup. I'm just saying what I would prefer not to do for me. But as you can see, I am blending, and blending in the area I was just talking about. So, that area should be like super blended. And now for the blending of my nose. This is where I was talking about where they blend this out the most, and they make sure that there's coverage on the side of the nose. But then when they get to the middle, it's like they put one line down the strip of their nose, and they don't blend it out from there. They just let it be. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, just blending that out, just making sure everything looks blended. Next, I'm going to be using, of course, the Fenty setting powder in the color Honey. Now, I've heard that they have changed their formula to this, and it's not as good. But this is, like, I bought this when it first came out, and I still have it. I'll probably have it for a while now. But I like it. I haven't tried the new quote-unquote formula. If they've changed it, it may just be somebody saying that to say it. But I can't say that I've tried it. So the one that I have is perfect, and that's what I'm using to set my face. Now I'm going in with the Fenty bronzer in the color Cocoa Naughty. Yes, this is the Sunstalker bronzer, and I'm going back into that nose area where I want to kind of blend out a little bit more that contour around my nose. And I'm going to blend more even when I wipe off the setting powder, because I want to make sure that it's like not a harsh line. Like, that really grinds my gears when I see that. I want to make sure that, that's not what the look that I'm going for. No shade to anyone else. Now I'm dusting everything off and making sure I dust off as much as possible, because if you don't, you'll look crazy. And now I'm going back into the Nika K palette and grabbing that darker shade and kind of smoking out the bottom, or the waterline, whatever you want to call that down there. I'm just smoking it out a little bit. Next, I'm going in with my Old Faithful blush, which I need to get some more blush because it's kind of pitiful. I didn't show it because it's like all crackled up and stuff. It's time for me to get more blush, which you can find a shade, like a shadow shade, that you can use for blush. I have what I like to stick to. But yes, that's what I'm doing, just putting on blush right now. And now my favorite, by NYX, the Born to Glow, I'm going to highlight with. And for bronzing, again, we're using Coco Naughty in Fenty from the Sunstalker bronzers. And of course, mascara before we apply our lashes. And the lashes I'll be using is the Miss Lashes from the beauty supply store. But crazy thing is, I Googled them and they actually are sold like on Walmart's website. They're sold on Amazon. And I'm like, okay, let me get my hands on these lashes in bulk, okay? Because I like to buy these like constantly. And for the setting spray is going to be the NYX matte setting spray and also NYX lip liner. Now the color I'm going to use on my lips, I'm actually going to be using the concealer in LA Pro Girl Concealer, the Warm Honey. I'm going to be using that for my nude lip. And to make sure you want that matte look, I recommend using concealer. I mean, it doesn't do anything to my lips, but I just wanted a different look, more coverage. I do want to try more nude lipsticks, but this was the next best thing to what I had. So, yeah. And I'm just going back in to line my lips on top of that. And next I'm going to apply some lip gloss from NYX in the color Madeline. Here is the finished look, guys. I'm super proud of me. Like, I'm loving this. Let me find out I'm gonna be the next makeup artist. Don't tempt me. No, I'm loving this look, and I never thought I could do a really good cut crease until now. So I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys will try it too, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribed, like, comment, everything. Support. I would really appreciate it. Until next time, love you guys.